Hey, 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 Primal Instincts here, shooby-doo-bop-bop, and I want to get into some romance today. Ha Yes, this episode of Primal's Podrat is going to be all about my romantic side. Do I have one? How far does it go? And what does it entail? Well, let me give you a quick answer to that question. Yes, I do have a romantic side. Now, I may be asexual, as I've already divulged many times for many years now. So I'm not into intercourse, but I do still have a romantic side. I do like a little bit of vanilla romance, which means I like holding hands, I like kissing, I like hugging and cuddling. Doing those things gives me that warm, fuzzy feeling that is typically associated with those kinds of romantic interactions with other people. And yes, this is for males and females that I've experienced it with. It does feel good. But the thing about me, the thing about Primal Instincts, is I'm very open about the fact that I have some imprinted personal interests. And these interests, they make those experiences even better. I would say, probably 10 times better, to be honest. Now, I think the definition of a fetish or a kink is that it is something that makes romantic encounters way better. So, somebody like me, you would consider a freak. I'll just be real straightforward about it. Or as Dr. Evil would say, freaky dicky. So I have that side that does enjoy vanilla romance. And it does do it for me. It does feel good. It is enjoyable. And I can get a release from it. However, it will be 10 times better, and the release I get will happen much faster if the things that I'm into are entertained. And that's the way that I am. I remember one of the girls I dated back in high school. We were holding hands and making out and, feeling good, the butterflies feeling that you think about when you're talking about early love like that. And I remember I playfully tried to ask her, I said, hey, you should put your hand over my nose and mouth so I can't breathe for a little bit. And she was like, no, that's mean. And I was like, no, come on, it'll be fun. Just do it. And I couldn't get her to do it. And I was kind of disappointed. I was like, oh, man, that would have made this so much more fun and exciting. And that's just the way I am. But don't get me wrong, I wasn't a jerk. I didn't break up with her over it. I accepted that she wasn't cool with it. But really, in the back of my mind, it was like, man, if you really want me to feel good, if you really want me to have a good time, that's all you gotta do, It's that easy. But I dedicated an entire podcast episode. If you didn't listen to that one yet, it's called Kinks versus Paraphilias. And it's distinguishing the difference between those two groups when it comes to imprinted personal interest. There's fetishes and then there's paraphilias. I'm in the first group. I have things that I like that make me feel really good and that make life and romance so much more enjoyable. But it's not all I care about, and it's not all I aim for. Now, don't get me wrong. I seek to entertain those things because, let's be honest, they feel really good. And as humans, we like to feel good, don't we? We like to experience pleasure. We like to be happy and feel good. That's a given. That's part of being human. And you've seen in videos on my channel in the past with the group of friends that I had that I was filming with, that we would entertain that stuff for fun. But it wasn't all we did. That's not the only reason I try to be friends with people. And with paraphilias, it's like that's the only thing that people go for. Let me give you an example of that. There was a fan, because I've actually met up with a couple fans from my channel, and I've had the pleasure of doing that, and it was fun and adventurous. But there was a fan who happened to only live less than an hour away from me. And it's like, wow, like, how ideal is that? Like, and I'm like cool about, meeting some people like that. And, he was a younger guy. So I was like, okay, well, what do you like to do, man? Do you like to play sports? Do you like to go to concerts? Do you like to see movies? Like, what do you like to do? Do you like to go hiking? Do you want to go to the parks? Because we had already established that we happened to have a personal interest that was the same, and we planned on entertaining it. But I'm like, let's be friends, man. Shoot, like, we live so close. Yeah, we can entertain that and feel good, but what else should we do? Like, let's be friends. Let's have the whole friends experience. But this dude didn't want to do anything except for what he was really into. Like, he literally only wanted to meet up just to do that, and that's it. And I was just like, huh. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I like that too. It feels good. But, I mean, is that really the only thing you want to do? Like, he didn't even want to be friends, really. He just wanted to meet up just to entertain that mutual interest. And, I mean, I wasn't opposed to entertaining it. But, I mean, it was a little disappointing to hear. Because like I said, you've seen in past videos, like, I actually like to be friends with people. I like to make bonds and create memories with people. And I strive for lifelong friendships. I'm not just trying to like hook up with somebody once and that's it, or just only hang out with them to entertain something, because I think that would be kind of selfish on my part, to be honest. And like, that's really all this person wanted to do. And at that point, I kind of said it as a joke to myself, like, at this point I might as well be charging them for this meetup, because I mean, if you're basically using me kind of like an escort, like, I might as well charge you like one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was actually trying to be friends. But and this person also wasn't into like kissing or holding hands or anything like that. Just that one thing. And like, don't get me wrong, I understand. I am sympathetic. I know that people with paraphilias like that, they can't help it. Like, that's the way their brain is wired. Just like mine is wired to be asexual, meaning I'm not a breeder. I don't do intercourse. I certainly do enjoy other forms of romance and release with other people. Naturally, I don't want to be too explicit here on this podcast, on this platform. But yeah, just, I'm wired that way, and that's the way I'm always going to be. So I can have a fair understanding that somebody who only wants to entertain what they like that's the way that they are. And if it's a situation where it's like, it'll still be fun for me. It's like, yeah, we'll compromise. We can still entertain it. That's fine, and I'll just have to accept and understand that. But with me, there's more to me than just what I really like. And again, what I really like just makes things so much more enjoyable. I don't consider having the interests that I have, I don't consider them to be a curse. I don't look at it as like, oh gosh, it's this weird thing in my brain that makes, holding breath and body odor to be this really enjoyable thing. I don't look at it as a curse that I have to live with, that I should hide or be ashamed for. It's like, it's not hurting anybody. It's not hurting me. So there's nothing wrong with it. The way I look at it is it gives me an opportunity to feel exceptionally good. And it gives other people who want to be my friend and hang out and have fun with me an opportunity to make me feel exceptionally good. And like I said earlier, guys, feeling good is a good thing. So there's nothing wrong with that. And that's why I'm so open about the things that I like. Because I know a lot of people like to keep personal interests like that to themselves. You know, they don't just go around shouting out to the world like, hey, I have fetishes, or hey, this is what I really like. They don't just go around doing that. And I mean, I don't just like shout it out loud either. I'm just proud of who I am, and I'm open about what I like. And when I meet friends, like I don't like force it onto anybody, but I make it known, and it's like, hey, if they're my friend, they're always cool with it, and they want to entertain it because they're my friend. Like, hey, they want to make me feel good. And here is something I definitely want to add to this, and this is really, really cool, and it's really interesting to me too. And I want to know what you guys think about it. There is a way, and I have experienced this, and I have asked other people that I've met and bonded with, and they agreed with me too. There is a way for people like me, people like us, who have those kinds of personal interests, to almost detect in other people that they have the same interest. All right, now listen to this. Throughout my life, I have met, I've been around guys and girls, and I've got this feeling from them. It's like a reading. It's hard to describe, but it's something that draws me to them, and it just makes me want to get to know them and explore what is causing that feeling of like drawing them to me. Now understand, this is more than just me saying they're physically attractive. It's not like, oh, that person's attractive. It's not necessarily that. It's more than just that. It's more than just like a physical attraction thing. It's like there's something about that person that it's just drawing me to them. Like my brain is like pointing me to meet them basically. And every time that I have followed my brain's reading, my brain's, radar, whatever you want to call it, that's urging me to meet this person. Every time I have done that and I've met that person I felt that with and become their friend and hung out with them and got to know them, soon enough, it would come out that they happen to like one of the same things that I like. Or they liked both of the things that I really liked. One or both. It's like the people I felt that way from and I hung out with and got close with, they liked, holding breath, or they liked body odor of some sort. And it's wild how it's always turned out to be that way. Whether they openly admit it or not, because there's been guys that they're not like me, even in like private closed door friend settings, they're not going to openly admit that they're into something, but they still entertain it. I've either caught them doing it when they thought I wasn't looking, like sneaking whiffs of my shoes, or actually doing it and just kind of laughing it off as a joke. But it's like, yeah, we're totally entertaining something we both like right now kind of thing. And then, of course, there are ones, too, that will openly admit it. And I started asking some of these people, it's usually guys with this kind of bond, some of these male friends, I started asking them, like, hey, I was like, when I met you, something was like drawing me to you, and that just would make me want to like get to know you and find out what we have in common. Like there was some relativity, something we had in common that pushed me to meet you and explore what it is. And I said this to like Leo Links, like one of the featured friends that's what was on my channel in the past. And I said that to him and his eyes lit up, He's like, yeah, me too. He's like, I felt the same way. So it's not just me. It is a real thing. It's like we almost have a way to tell like, hey, there's something in common there. But it's not always easy to approach people because the feeling is like, it's pretty strong. It kind of makes you nervous or anxious to approach the person because it's a pretty powerful feeling. And once again, it's more than just like a physical attraction. It's like there is something very special and unique that I have in common with this person. And if I meet them and get close to them, we will share the same common interests and we will be happy souls together. We will bond and we will grow. And I felt strongly that way when I first saw T-Rex at that restaurant job that I met him at. And I really felt this strongly when I first saw Lord Rubik's. And I mean, you guys saw how well we bonded on camera, and it was that way off camera too. And it's the same with these other friends that I featured on camera with me. And understand, those were all real friendships too. Like, those were people I organically met at part-time jobs I used to work, and we became friends. We like the same kind of shows, same kind of music, similar sense of humor. I mean, we definitely had a close bond and a love for each other, and we enjoyed entertaining things together too. I mean, there was definitely love and closeness, and like all of those friendships that you see, like all those people I featured, man, we definitely had a certain mutual love for each other, a very special bond that we connected with and felt towards each other. So that is a real thing, and I think it's so cool. I still get readings like that from people that I see. It'll be like, I'll be out at a grocery store and I'll see somebody. I'll be like, oh yeah, that person right there would make a good friend for me. He and I would be good friends, or me and her would have a lot of fun if we got to know each other and hung out. But it is a lot harder to bond with people these days because smartphones and social media have just killed socialization, sadly. I mean, so many people just, they work, they don't trust each other. People don't trust other people as much anymore. Everybody's in this mind state that we're permanently in trying times now, and it's just really hard. Like, I still try to make friends and make plans with people, but it's almost like people treat it like it's so last year, Like, wait, what? People don't like text back or call each other or hang out anymore. Friendship? No, man. Well, it's only online. People only want to communicate with each other online anymore. Sometimes they don't even do that. I mean, they'll watch your videos and stuff, but they won't actually respond to you or communicate with you. And that's it's kind of sad to see society that way, because I, for one, would still love to create memories with people and bond with people and entertain. Like I said, I do have a romantic side, and I still do. It hasn't gone away. I'm still asexual too. That's never going to change. And I still have the same personal interests that I have, and I will continue to enjoy entertaining them. And I look forward to meeting new people to do that with, to bond with, to become good friends, to, mutually feel good. That's what it's all about, man. The fact that we are humans, we are social creatures on this planet. And I really hope that some sort of revolution and awakening happens soon that will stop this terrible smartphone / social media addiction that is crippling people's social lives and giving them depression, isolation, and anxiety. Hopefully we can start hanging out again, We might actually start seeing kids at playgrounds and out riding their bikes and skateboarding, and we might see friends hanging out and people bonding and making each other feel good again, instead of just being on the internet all the time. Because don't get me wrong, I love the internet, and I would be sad if there was no internet, but you also got to have a little in-person socialization too, man. Having friends online is fun, but you got to have some real life friends too. You got to get the whole experience. You really do. And I do. So I'm hoping that I can meet some new friends and create some new memories and continue to feel good with my romantic side. And I hope all of you guys out there listening can too. And that's coming from the heart. So thank you for listening. Yes, your guy Primal Instincts here does have a romantic side. I may be asexual, but I suppose I would consider myself bi-romantic asexual. There is still a side to me, and it is a freaky side too. You know, it's a little bit vanilla, but the freaky side, it makes it better, because vanilla is just a little boring on its own. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, take care out there, guys. Thank you for listening. I got more episodes like this coming up. Audio only podcast, the Podrat. That's my rat sound effect. And of course, I got more videos coming up as well. Send me an email if you'd like a custom video commission. I love filming them for my fans. thenodiohero@gmail.com. Big thank you to everybody supporting me on Patreon. And a thank you in advance for anybody else who decides to support me on Patreon. There's a lot of exclusive content on there that I'm always posting. And I have a video shop on there too. You can directly buy videos. And I'm going to be adding more as time goes along. I'm going to keep adding videos to that when I find time, or just when I feel like it. So thanks for listening. I love you guys. I hope you get to create memories with people. And who knows, maybe one of you out there listening will be the next fan that I get to meet in person, and we can become friends, or we can entertain things that we like and have fun, and we can have those memories together, because I'm all for it. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Please remember to tune into my channel. Thank you for your support. And until next time, I will see you again.